It was January 26, 2001. Oslo's streets were quiet, wrapped in a heavy winter stillness. Snow drifted under flickering streetlights, and the cold air bit through the silence like a warning. But something darker than winter was waiting that night. 3 young men, carrying a hatred older than themselves, were already watching. And walking into their path was Benjamin Hermansen. He was only 15. Benjamin wasn't a threat. He wasn't causing trouble. He was just a teenager, hanging out with a friend, walking through his neighborhood of Holmlia. He loved music. He played football. He smiled easily. His life was filled with the ordinary warmth of youth until hatred made it extraordinary. Benjamin was of mixed race, his father from Ghana, his mother Norwegian. He was proud of who he was, comfortable in both worlds. But to the men following him, he was a symbol of something they feared. Of something they despised. To them, he was simply the color of his skin. The attack was swift, brutal. They stabbed him. Again, and again, and again. His friend ran for help, screaming into the night. But by the time anyone arrived, the snow was no longer white. Benjamin died on that street, beneath the same streetlights that had watched him grow up. The killers were known: Joe Erling Jahr, Ole Nikolai Kvisler, and their associate, Veronica Andreasen, members of the far-right neo-Nazi group called the Boot Boys. They had planned this. They had bragged about it. They wanted to make a statement. And they did. But not the one they expected. The next morning, Norway woke to grief and something rare in the cold of winter: fire. Tens of thousands marched in silence. Candlelight vigils lit every corner of Oslo. Students cried. Parents clutched their children tighter. And the message was clear: this is not who we are. This is not who we will be. The murder of Benjamin Hermansen became a turning point. Out of the horror came something fierce: resistance. A foundation was created in his name. Schools began teaching about racism more directly. And from across the ocean, even Michael Jackson heard Benjamin's story and dedicated a performance to his memory. But what about justice? The killers were caught, tried, convicted. Yet no sentence could undo what was done. Benjamin's family was left with questions no parent should ever face. The community, with a wound that never fully healed. And yet, somehow, Benjamin's story didn't fade. It grew. It became a symbol of the fight against hate in Norway. A reminder that silence is never neutral. That racism isn't a whisper, it's a knife. And that change begins with a name: Benjamin Hermansen. Today, there's a bench in Holmlia where he died. A quiet place where people still stop, still cry, still remember. He was only 15, but he woke a country. And in doing so, he lives on.